Y'all with another video, another topic. Honestly, because I'm always repeating the same stuff. Y'all ever notice that? Like I get on the mic and just repeat the same shit, but the stuff I be repeating is so simple to understand. You would think black people would just wake up and understand the stuff that the Lord is saying to y'all in the scriptures, bro. And how you can just use that for reality for what you see in life. So let me give you an example of what I mean, right? I told y'all Deuteronomy in the book of Jeremiah is probably one of my two favorite books. All right. But Deuteronomy especially, because it talks about the curses and the blessing and all that. But the most important thing that the Lord said is that he will send his people back in ships to Egypt on a journey he said we should see no more. And there you shall offer yourself for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but there will be no buyer. I think this is the most important thing that black people just do not understand, no matter how many times I show them this, right? So hopefully whoever listens to this video, you show your cousin or your mom or somebody. How can I put this, right? Because I'm about to get political. And understand what I'm trying to say to y'all when I say this. We know racism is real. That is a real thing. We know white supremacy is a real thing. But I'm here to tell y'all this, black people, as a fact, the people of Judah. A lot of this stuff is an illusion. I'm going to say this again. A lot of this stuff is an illusion. Again, I was arguing with some white guy because I want y'all to understand the game and how this really works. The real illusion, the real trick is to have y'all believe, right, that you are still oppressed. We're not talking about the Jim Crow era and all that stuff, right? You know, in the beginning when we came here, right? Talking about now. A lot of these obstacles that you think is there, it's not really there. It's really not. You got to understand, they use race as a way to divide and conquer. Now, again, racism is real. Listen to what I'm saying to y'all. But there is nothing stopping you from being successful in life. See, the argument started like this, right? A lot of rap music is victim rap. What I mean is this, right? A lot of it is struggle music, and a lot of it is pointing blame, usually at people that don't look like you. Like I said in my other video, if you go online, a lot of these black content creators, they target poor black people. They're grifters. They're selling you. They not even selling you nothing. That's the thing. You're selling yourself to them. They're making money off your ignorance, bro. This is why I don't have no paywall on my channel. I don't never ask y'all for donations. A lot of these motherfuckers, they always asking y'all for donations and stuff. You gotta be an idiot to pay somebody online to listen to their opinion. Seriously, yo. That's what a lot of this shit is. A lot of motherfuckers will charge you $5 or you gotta donate $1 just so they can read your chat out loud. I'm serious, y'all. So, you know, a lot of these channels, mainly the pro-black channels, right? Their whole job is to convince you that other people in the world is oppressing you. When in reality, that's not the case. And again, if you actually listen and pay attention to what God's saying, a lot of this shit will make sense to y'all, stiff necks, yo. So like, how can I put this? Like I said in my other video, Dr. Umar, when he targets black women, he feeds their mindset that the reason their life is bad is because black man is not doing this and not doing that. It's not their fault in the decisions that they made in life. He wants them to blame black men as a collective on why they struggling. Or Tyreek Nasheed, right? He would tell black people. That's why you got a lot of stupid FBAs, running around on the internet. He would tell them that the immigrants are taking your jobs. Now, as a black person, I want you to answer this, right? Many of y'all don't work around Chinese people. Y'all don't work around Indian people. A lot of these foreigners, they come here, they set up their own business and they hire their own kind. They work within themselves. You don't see Arabs and shit working with you at factories and shit. Them niggas not taking your job. They save up money, build up a business, and then when they get rich off that business, they make another business and pass it down to their children. That's how that shit goes, bro. But Tyreek got to keep feeding y'all that dumb shit because the real truth is a lot of y'all, and I hate to be rude, yo, because this goes against what the Lord said, but I gotta say it though. A lot of y'all are really bums. That's the real truth. And you don't want to work hard in life. And so now that you struggling in life, you find other reasons to point blame at others instead of looking at yourself in the mirror. That's the real truth. So when God said you will offer yourself as slaves, that's what he meant. He's saying that you going to be the people that's going to keep spending your money and giving your money to other people because you don't want to build for yourself or for your community. That's the real truth. That's what he's saying in the book of Deuteronomy. Again, racism is real. All right. I got to say these things because, like I said, the illusion is to keep y'all from being independent, bro. That's all the illusion is. So a lot of these, white liberals, because this is the thing, right? I don't care for any other party. I want to make that clear right now. I didn't vote for any party. But the trick, and a lot of them notice the trick is to keep having y'all relying on the system. That's what it is. It's to have you believe that it's something there that's stopping you from being great, but in reality, is nothing there. Like I said, you got all these black kids going to these nice colleges like Princeton and Michigan and all that. You got all these black kids going to HBCUs and all that other stuff, bro. It's nothing stopping y'all from being successful, bro. It's all an illusion, bro. And a lot of these illusion is placed by the hand of God. I'm being real with y'all. A lot of y'all don't want to believe in this stuff, but it's real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get out of that slave mindset. People would say stuff to me like, there's a wage gap. Now, let me say this, right? Because I don't want to act stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff is real. So, like, let's say white supremacy, right? When you go to these higher end jobs, like say you trying to apply for Google, a position at Google, or a lot of these Fortune 500 companies, You can experience racism in the workplace, moving up in the ranks. That is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? You can experience racism working at a job. One of your coworkers might not like you or might not want to work with you based on the color of your skin. But what I'm saying right now is that there's not nothing really keeping you down because believe it or not, the system affects everybody. When you dive deep into this, you will realize the war is really against the poor and the rich. And God talked about this in the Bible as well. It's really the poor against the rich when you really dive deep into it. A lot of these politicians, you know what I'm saying, especially in the black community, they scare y'all into saying like you need to vote for this person. If you don't vote for this person, your life is going to be this way. You're going to live like this. All of that is fake scare tactics because at the end of the day, money runs the world, bro. That's why a lot of these wealthy and these rich celebrities and shit, they don't give a fuck who wins the election because they understand money runs the world. They understand the economy collapsing affects everybody. It ain't just your black ass. And I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Again, I come to y'all real with this stuff, man. I take the time out of my day to preach this stuff to y'all and show y'all this stuff. But a lot of y'all just not getting it. But these was the curses that the Lord spoke about. You know what I'm saying? He was saying, like, yo, since y'all not worshiping me and y'all doing all this fuckery stuff that I told y'all not to do, I'ma start doing these things to y'all, you know what I'm saying, until you wiped out. So the Lord is giving you a chance to repent and to turn back to him, the God of Israel, because a lot of y'all think Christ is your God when he's not. So that's all I want to say to y'all. I'm out.